Alright, guys. We've got Nina here. Let's see if the underdog can punch up because she is facing off against none other than Dark. And remember, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, it means this game actually ended up being a little surprising or exciting in some manner because I'm sure there's already people going, Nina versus Dark. Oh, Dark's got this in the bag. But remember two things. This is a weekly cup, and Dark likes to experiment in these weekly cups, number one. Number two, he likes to all in like a savage. He tries to speedrun them. Number three, people always claim he's not trying. Like, he's not trying because and I think it's just he's experimenting and he's a bit more free-flowing, and that's kind of Dark in general. But yeah, Nina, on the other hand, she steps up in these online tournaments, these lower stakes tournaments where the pressure doesn't get to her as much. I think, you know, as an emotional player, she's a lot like me in that regard. Back when I was competing with her, where we'd both friggin' get you know, the real struggle was just maintaining calm in the process. Now, she's doing some really good harass, messing up Dark there, of course, playing on the central US server. Going to be a really good thing for Nina and a little rough for Dark. So you can see his drones are getting bounced all over the shop. Very good micro by Nina. She does accidentally mine some minerals, but she'll just have to get out of there. Second pylon is down here. Now, this pylon's really cool. The reason this pylon's really cool, guys, is you can use that to warp in on the low ground, which means you can secure your third base from that, right? You also can warp Dark Templar in here and run them across the map without a warp prism, which is super friggin' cool. And you could even use this to start building a shield battery on the low ground, which is amazing. You got like a shield battery here, depths here, beautiful, beautiful feature that can be used. You know, you could do it over here as well if you want. So I really like this. Twilight Council first indeed is the option. Inside Out's a nice short map. A lot of players like Glaive Adept. Nina, though, she's a Dark Templar lass, and she just did this exact same build to me before. I called it before the game even started. I said, Inside Out, that's a map you usually play Twilight rather than Stargate. You can play Stargate because it's a shorter map. People like the Twilight to get those ground units across the map to pressure the opponent. But knowing Nina, she doesn't like those standard meta Zest-style Glaive Adept printer builds. She prefers to go for her own version of Archon play, and she's very annoying with her Archon drop. She'll go Queen hunting. Problem for her, Dark is one of the best Queen movement players in the game. I think his weakness is actually that he overreacts to pressure and doesn't inject enough. He misses way too many injects if you're harassing him. So the thing is, if Nina, a player who she loves dropping on queens and trying to get really aggro and in his face, there's a really good chance she overcommits, gets her prism snapped out of the sky, and that would be a disaster for her. So she's got to be careful. She threw her prism away against me literally one map ago in this tournament. She just eliminated me on this map. So I think she should be a bit more cautious. Usually after you lose your prism for no good reason, you do it a bit better the next time around. Keep in mind, this is probably a 2-gate, not a 4-gate build. The advantage of that is rather than going for the third and the fourth gate now and delaying your third to 5 minutes, you can actually move out and take that third right now. Her prism is a bit delayed though, bit of a nasty 46 supply block, but prism's still not poorly timed. Now, if she can just, move the adepts over to the third, she'll be able to secure that quite nicely. Dark has not spotted the tech at all, so he's got to be worried about what could be coming out. He saw the Robo in the wall, and he's going to drop a 4-minute Roach Roar, and he's got 5 queens. He's going to 7 queens. Oh, he's going very heavy on queens, which is pretty good versus the Archon. Nina is not going to use this pylon to secure this base. She's going to secure the base to the left. How bizarre. Nina's she's a funky player. She does some things which are very interesting. So she presents her tech over here, which I guess it helps defend the 4th base? I don't know. It feels to me like it's really easy to scout. So weird choices made by Nina. Spore Crawlers are going down now for Dark as he has spotted that Dark Shrine. So he will be ready in time for it. And she's going to go straight Archon, I believe. So she's going to go 2 DTs, morph those into an Archon, and just start picking off Overlords. So she's going to say, hey, let's get the guaranteed damage. Third base did start at just past 4 minutes. Dark's opening's pretty standard so far. He's building an extra Spore Crawler. Now that's interesting. An extra Spore Crawler. Wow, okay. All right, so he wants to move one Spore Crawler forward to help with this and then kind of go from there. But Nina's got 5 more gates and Blink on the way. She wants to do a Blink all-in attack here. And Dark supply blocked on 47 drones only, so he's only up a couple workers right now. He does start 7 more. Hasn't built a single Roach. He says, hey, it's just one Archon. That can't really do much. He's got good creep spread getting out, great map control. I'd love to see him get a tumor in front of his third. The only real problem I see for Dark in this scenario is if he doesn't realize that she's got so many gateways so quickly. So how many gates is this? It's a 7-gate Blink. I think she might cut probes in a moment and just go pure Blink aggression and just try to carry the momentum through. She's got an Observer as well, so she can pick off the creep and push it back. But that creep will buy him a bit of time. That's going to make it hard for her to shove in. Roaches starting to come out now. Only 3 Roaches and 11 Zerglings, but those 7 Queens are very good anchor to the initial defense. And this Spore Crawl is going to be a nuisance as well, especially with Transfuses on that bad boy. Keeps the Observer back for now. The Observer does go down, but the Archon's going to fall, I think. And looks like the Adept is the only thing that goes down so far. The Archon will regen its shields. These Adepts do shade in. She's going to grab a drone, make it 2. Can she get a third one? And no, only 2 workers. I think those would have been better off in the army, personally. Archon's going to fall now as well. Oh, the Archon survives, but no! Dark gets in there and hits it with those queens. Oh, bummer for Nina there. And I mean, Nina's keeping him pinned at equal worker count. Remember, she doesn't have a +1 attack on the way or anything like that. She's just trying to create a situation where she can out-micro him using the fact that this, of course, is on her server advantage. Overseer comes forward, though, and they just took out the Observer. So if they get a moment, Dark will be able to respread creep. But right now, Nina's not giving him that time. She's just got to be a bit more cautious on her micro. I think she's a bit too aggressive right now. I say that. There's no roach speed. He can't chase off creep at all. And she realizes that she's got a window of time in this next 30 seconds to really be a nuisance. And she is getting up to 3 bases fully saturated behind it. Now, I'd like to see her go straight Disruptors. I think that's, getting splash damage against a guy like Dark is essential as the follow-up. I don't think you're going to capitalize just taking him down with this. So a Forge for the +1 and a Robo Bay would be it. She drops the Robo Bay. She agrees with me. She's also taken the gases on the 3rd base. She's a little supply blocked here. So I think the supply blocks as well are going to kind of force her down that line of, oh, okay, I need to build up workers. And she's up 8 workers, right? She's got the Forge on the way as well. But upgrades are faster here for Dark. He's got a good Ravager force. She almost gets a Ravager, but notice the way he pulled that back and transfuses it. Sexy play from Dark. And he's just going to keep trying to zone her out with Biles. He's like, buy time, buy time, buy time. Now, Nina doesn't realize how small his economy is. If she sees that mineral line, she'll realize that's a very empty 3rd base mineral line. There's no 4th. And she absolutely should just be backing off right now because he's got the numbers. He eats some of his own Biles here. She's got to get out of there. Nina pulling back, good micro by her. As long as she preserves most of these Stalkers, she's got to realize that he's committed a lot to do this, and it's actually a very good position for her. She's got a battery on the 3rd. She does Chrono the Forge, but doesn't quite click the upgrade. That is a bit of a mistake there for Nina. She's still making Mass Stalker. There we go. +1 does start up. Disruptor's building just 1 at a time. I think she can establish a 4th. Yeah, she's thinking about it. She's got that one there. I mean, Dark's economy sucks dick. He's basically all in on Roach Ravager. I told you guys Dark likes to just free flow, and he's decided, well, this position sucks. I'm just going to wait for +1, and then I'm going to push across and kill you. And if she stays in this position, he's going to flank around and try to either sandwich her army or split and hit her on the back with about half the army. And then if her Stalkers aren't out there to meet it, she's in big trouble. And already, look at that. 3 Roaches slide down the right. That's enough to one-shot probes. So as long as he focus fires there, stays out of range of the cannon as well, he can get a good 5 or 6 probes. She's got to warp in Stalkers at home. Pulls her attention away. He's actually droning up right now. Dark's droning up behind this. I did not expect that. He gets 6 probes for 3 Roaches. Good trade for him. But she has a 4th on the way that's at the same time as his 4th. And that is always bad as the Zerg. The problem, of course, is that Dark is a god of the game. And oh, she stayed too long. I told you guys. But wait, she's got an ambush. Ambush! Ambush! Oh my god! She lands a Disruptor to end all Disruptors there. And that is looking fantastic in the units lost tab for Nina. 5,000 resources lost for Dark, 3,500 for her, and she's been leading in the economy all game. However, he's now droned his 3rd. He's up on 6 gases. He's got his 4th there. He's adding Lings. He's got the Baneling Nest. He's going for his melee upgrade now that he's got his +1 range. The Disruptor drop, still looking for it. And she's going to find at least 2 Roaches and a Queen there. Not bad. And he can't push across this bridge. Of course, he's Dark, so he's going to try because he's a savage. Does manage to take out a Stalker. But a Roach does go down to the Disruptor shot as well. She's got a 4th up. Her production is a little lacking. That's the one thing I worry about. But she's saying, that's fine. I've got my foot on his neck. Let's go. Let's go. Let's just keep this aggression going. And that weird early Blinkstalker timing seems to have done so well. Not the best Disruptor shot micro. I think she expected him to split forwards there at the last second, and he didn't. So she was kind of expecting some super high level micro, but I think she should remember he's playing on about probably 180 ping, something like that on Central US. So it's not going to be perfect control for him. He is used to competing on that in tournaments. Usually they rotate West and Central. Cannon on the 3rd, good for Nina. Couple Zerglings ain't going to do jack there. Dark's really good with the Baneling run bys though. She's got to watch out for those. He's a master at doing that. Look at this. These Banelings will be morphing on every side. Yeah, she's got to watch out for those because her economy is going to take a big hit. She's getting really good fights. She does take some big Biles there, but the Disruptors are keeping Dark back, and this is where the Banelings can go absolutely ham. They are slow Banes right now, Let's see how quickly Nina reacts. She's sending DTs in the left. He's sending Banelings in the right. She's going to lose most of these probes, I believe. Stalkers on the front. Disruptor shots coming forward to try and distract as well. Baneling's actually not going to get most of these probes. And guess what, guys? DTs on the left say goodbye, Dark's hatchery. Oh, are they, though? Are they going to get the hatchery? They changed targets for the Spore. I think she should get out of here. I think she should recall those. Oh, she shoves the right side and snipes that as well. Oh, Nina is just crazy. Oh my god, she is really pedal to the metal. She's like, eat it. Eat my disruptors. Eat my friggin' my Stalker Blinks. Just friggin' dive in. 19 drones. Double hatchery snipe. Dark's on 2 base, and he needs to kill this army. He needs to crush this army. Nina's happy to take a scrappy fight. But here we go. Baneling run by one more time on the left side. Is she going to respond? Is she going to respond? He clicked on the Nexus. Dark misclicked on the Nexus. He meant to click in the mineral line, but instead he blows them all up on the Nexus. Oh no, what a disaster. And he loses the fight in the front. Nina, with a 7-gate, 0 upgrade blink aggression, catches Dark off guard. She opened up a little bit tighter than him. Really efficient Archon drop opening. He went too many queens there. He was trying to do this one-size-fits-all response. Too many queens is not good versus the Stalkers because you cannot chase them down off creep. They can blink all day. So she punishes his heavy queen opening and gets the 1-0 lead. All right, a rough start to the series for Dark. Let's see if he can bring it back. We're going into Tropical Sacrifice. He does go for the hatchery first. And Nina going for a gate scout in the top right side of the map. She's repping License to Kill, LTK. Don't think Nina... Does Nina have a pro team right now? I'm not sure if she does or not. She's had obviously a lot of teams, a lot of sponsorships over the years. She's had a bit of a break. She's back into competing recently. I know she's been very busy working full-time and stuff. And then she's always been streaming on and off. Dark, on the other hand... perpetual full-time Chad pro gamer, one of our favorite shit talkers out of Korea. Anytime you get him in an interview, he's basically like, I'm gonna destroy everybody. Foreigners suck. Protoss players suck. Terran players suck. All the other Zergs suck compared to me. It's always great. He always has a bit of a grin on his face. But yeah, Dark and Raynor, I really do feel two kindred spirits in that regard. Dark and Raynor, the two best shit talkers from the East and the West. Pile him on the high ground there. I imagine Nina's probably going to be going Oracle. Now, when I played her earlier today as well, I keep referencing that because it's the same maps. She just chronoed an Adept, but then just kept it at home. And then made a second Adept and went for the Oracle and was super safe against Ling Flood that way. I tried to Ling Flood her, did not work. And you can see there, Adept being chronoed, rally to the inside. She actually goes straight Warp Gate. Now that's an odd choice. She's still going... Oh, she's going to do the same Twilight Council build. And once again, she can warp in on the low ground. Interesting. Link speed's on the way for Dark. He did leave one worker on gas. That's going to give him a bit of flexibility. Leaving a worker on gas, something the Europeans don't like to do, because they like to go for a very late lair and really focus on getting an economic lead. But the Koreans, especially Dark and Rogue, these guys are really my spirit animals. They are my Patronuses when it comes to this matchup. I learned so much from them, and for them, it's all about flexibility and always having a lot of dangerous options available. And even just one worker is going to mine 100 gas. So if you choose to, depending on what you see, you can just, bam, smack a layer down as early as about 3:45. And that gives you a lot of options. In this scenario, we see the Robo, but it's clearly not the first tech structure because it's only started at 3 minutes, whereas the first tech structure starts at about 2:20. So Dark already knows it's Twilight into Robo, and because he hasn't seen a Stalker, he says, hey, you don't have a Stalker. I'm just going to fly this Overlord in and see absolutely everything. So he's pretty confident. Now, remember, he went for a Mass Queen style, and I really do feel Mass Queen gets punished by Blink because you can just out-micro the Queens. They have one less range than the Stalkers, and they can't move off creep, so that they do get kind of out-positioned. Now, this is actually really good just kind of distraction and frustration that Nina's causing for Dark right now. She did miss time her hits there, though. Oh, she's actually taken out a Zergling, a drone, another Zergling. So 2 drones, 2 Zerglings. I would have liked to see her get a few more, but she keeps the Adepts alive. I mean, they're pretty soft. They're pretty bruised, but hey, they can help secure a 3rd base, so not too bad. She's once again going 2-gate Dark Shrine. Feels like he doesn't really have the answer to it. Dark's going to drop a random Baneling nest right now. This guy. So Dark is already thinking about getting to about 45 drones, maybe 50, and then he's just going to do a crazy Ling Bane counterattack while defending the Prism with his queens. He's going to do it off 36 drones. Oh, this is the sloppiest all-in I've ever seen. But remember, Dark's all-ins, they might be sloppy. They have a very high win percentage. Now, if she sees this coming, that Archon is so good on the defense. And she's already got the 2 Adepts up there, not in the perfect position, but in a decent position. that probe, she's very good with her micro, you could see there. And the arc on there does get a hit off on those Zerglings. More Lings and Banes coming. The thing is, he's like, oh, it's just a handful of Lings. He's massively supply blocked on 58, though. He's building like 5 Overlords. But does that delay actually help him? It very well may, because she's not warping in units right now. She doesn't have a lot of vision with this style. Her Observer does not see the Ling Bane. So she needs to like instantly warp in a Sentry and Force Field. It's very unlikely she reacts in time. This is just such a random timing. But this is Dark's whole MO is things that are bad on paper but work because of the surprise factor, especially in this matchup. He's very good at that. He F2s some Lings home, then he does gather up at the front. She's not warping in anything at home, and that's a huge problem for her. The natural is the weak point because the probes are there. Oh no, she transfers probes into the Banelings. Tries to warp in a DT there. These probes are going to do a nice split at the last second. Very well done. But she doesn't even have a pylon in the main mineral line, so she can't even warp in there, guys. Uh-oh. She's dead. Oh no, spread! 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 DTs are there, but there's more Banes coming in. She can't hide them. She's got to spread them now. She's going to have to take some big Bane hits. She's up like 20 workers when this started, but she's going to lose about 35, I think. That DT gets a few of the Banelings. One DT does go down to the Banelings detonating, but this is a problem. She clumps. Don't clump. No! No! The Banelings get the big hit, and Dark, as always, winning ZvPs with super random attacks from way behind. Dark, he's an absolute savage, man. Does it again, ties up the series. All right. The cheesy boy brings it back with a dirty build. He used to always do that off 50 drones, and this was basically that same build, but he was in such a bad position from the early game. He was only on 35 workers, so just to give you guys context, he used to kill like even stats with that. I remember one time, stats had all his units at his third, his oracles thought they saw everything on the map, and bam, 12 Banelings just killed his adept in his wall and killed every probe in the main and natural, and it was just game over, you know. And that was in stats was championship caliber. Like, he was the best player in the world pretty much. And Dark was like, lol, random attack that shouldn't work, and stats is just there scratching his head. He's like, but dude, I went triple oracle, you know. If I spotted this, like, I take 0 damage. Dark's like, I'm really good at hiding Lings and Banes though. Stats is like, there's no way you can guarantee I don't spot this coming. There's actually a very high chance that I spot this coming. Like, Dark's like, yeah, okay, sure. And then he basically made it part of his best of 5 strategy. 50 drones, super random Ling Bane, unupgraded, just giant, you know, hide him off on the 4th base and then just roll in when the Protoss is thinking they've got map control and thinking their 3rd is the weak point. And he used to just pull that out every best of 5. He played one game, regularly in a best of 3, had an incredibly high win percentage with it. And that's why this is like, there's a few of these tricks that Dark does. Another one is if you're going oracles and he makes it look standard, he might just at like, off 40 drones, move out at like 5 minutes with like 10 roaches and just rally speedlings, make some into ravages and just try to kill your 3rd and just say, oh, I just hope you don't have enough oracle energy to deal with this. And I'm kind of hitting you just before your gates are coming online. So he's very regularly thinking of these dirty plays. Now, Nina's going to go for the exact same build order. She's looking to play in a very kind of consistent manner. Now, Dark's 3rd gets blocked. Good on her. So she forces him to take the other 3rd. She delays it by a good 10 seconds or so there as well. He's immediately going creep on his natural, right? I always prefer the double inject personally, but Dark, I guess, just wants to get that vision out there, help connect his bases. Robo does go down in the wall, so no surprises here. Dark's like, oh, exact same build order. I personally would be afraid to just kind of let Dark know what's coming, because I feel like he's very regularly 1 or 2 steps ahead now. Oh, great Overlord for Dark. Look at that. He sees the Adepts coming ahead of time. He's only got 1 Ling on the map. He needs to build more Lings, but he's a little supply blocked there. 12 Lings coming out. Now, Nina, look at that. She got spotted, so she shades backwards. She says, yeah, he'll have to build Zerglings. So essentially, she just killed 6 drones by forcing him to build Zerglings instead of drones. It's not exactly the same, but that's essentially very similar to it. Now, that probe could get 1 tap. Dark will get in there and get that most likely. DT Shrine's not down. Oh, it is. It's building on the natural. No worries. And Dark coming in, being a bit of a cheeky dickhead. Good micro by Nina so far. 3 Adepts coming back up into the main. And she should be going for that 3rd in the near future. The Lings looking for these Adepts. You see Dark spending actions, APM time, but he just saw the 3 Adepts in the main, so I think he realizes she pulled them back. And he could get that pylon. That'd be pretty nice. Now, Nina's a little sloppy with her control right now. Yeah, she's going to lose the pylon and the probe. You can see just these Adepts were a little slow to get down there, man. It's cost her. This does delay what she's up to. There we go. 3 Adepts on that base. She's got the prism there. So 2 gates. She doesn't take the extra gases. She wants that third to start. But where is her probe, man? There we go. Finally gets that third down. Ling's here. Going to try to run in. I think she's solid here. Yeah, the other adept's coming forward. Going to push this back. A few more Lings as well. Wow, Dark, very heavy on the Lings. Only 41 workers. I thought he would have over-droned behind this, like, on purpose. And well, I say over-droned. Heavily droned. Correctly droned is another way of putting it. She's making an Archon and just defending right now. And is she going to stay purely defensive? It's not a bad move, man. It's going to be hard to kill that, just because the Archon has such little T-Rex arms. Self-pleasure as an Archon is a conundrum. Oh, her Adept's just sitting out in the open. Super sloppy play for Nina there. I always talk about you got to keep your Adepts in a good position, and Nina messes that up. And you can tell she's like psychologically damaged by the last game. This is not the Nina we're used to watching. She's playing super turtly, super defensive. She's got no vision. And she tries to double down on the defense, but then she ends up moving out and gives the Lings an opportunity to kill this shield battery. Now the DT there, not fighting. She should be able to defend with the Archon. But behind this, Dark has free reign. Roach speed, Evo chamber. I'm surprised he's not going for Aspire. When a Protoss turtles up this hard, Aspire is a no-brainer. Like, I would not be surprised if he drops a 4th Aspire. He can do anything he wants here. And Nina, she's so turtled up. It does not feel like a good position. She's still got her Adept in the open. She has no defense on this base whatsoever. 1 Adept out in the open. Huge mistakes for Nina. Right now, she's wide open. And Dark's just going to go for it. Those Adepts are going to go down very quickly. Oh, the probes will help out. Okay, so she should be able to hold on, but with the battery coming in just a second too late for that Adept. But there we go. Adept and Zealot warp in. But once again, her Prism comes home. And she just has not seen anything that's happening. So she's got to be paranoid right now. Like, oh, what if he goes for, you know, Spire, anything like that. Now, he's just going 61 drones, mass roaches with roach speed. So Dark may be playing a bit conservative here, not really looking to get a lead at all. But on the other hand, Dark never really feels like he needs to get a lead. So I think he's had map control for a very long time. And I would argue on a fundamental level, Dark's done very little with it. The Archons should be moving north here. Oh! Good hot pickup. She doesn't end up losing the Prism or the Archons. Gets a Queen or 2, but does lose the Observer. Should have pulled that one back. You got to be careful there. This looks like an all-in for Dark. I mean, I tell you guys, Dark is a very simple player at times. He tries to speedrun these tournaments. He doesn't really do elegant strategies. He just kind of shoves with a bunch of units, and he's doing it again. It's a 5-Queen Roach Nidus with +1. The Nidus is very cute for reinforcing. Nina's building a Colossus. So she's like, okay, I need that to deal with like Lings and Banes. Disruptors would be way better for her. More Immortals, more static defense would be good. She has good vision in her main. So there's no like surprise area where a Nidus could go except this little area, funnily enough. Very unlikely that's going to work. She's also going to kill the Changeling, which is good. And get a few Stalkers warped in. If the Overseer hangs around, she could kill those. But look at this. Roaches on the left, Roaches on the right. She just needs to turtle up and defend. She's going for an Archon drop very late in the game. And he's attacking her in 2 places. Oh, get out of there, Nina. Nina, defend! Oh no, her sentries and immortals getting caught out in the open here. And no battery on the natural means this is a disaster. The Archons are killing a lot of stuff over there, but this is a very risky position. Now, she's going to recall those Archons, but the Roaches have already killed 13 probes. We've got a Nidus popping up in the back of the main base. Zealot, Archon, Immortal is actually doing pretty good versus the Roaches at killing them, but an Immortal goes down, another Immortal goes down, and oh, this is a disaster for Nina. The Nidus Worm will be able to pop units out in the back of the base. She's still got the Colossus alive, but with the Immortals going down, she has no real damage output to actually clear the Roaches. They can dance all day, and Dark just bringing out a very simple all-in Roach Queen Nidus off about 60 workers. And you know what? Just big commitment for Dark, but Nina, she just was not able to scout. She didn't really have hallucinations or anything. She was so defensive and turtled up and just kept making little mistakes. Because it's not your natural state. It seems easy to just turtle up and take a third, but if you're not used to doing it, you make mistakes. And this is a very common situation. Dark says, hey, I'm unpredictable. I'm crazy. You never know what I'm going to do. And the Protoss starts slipping up and getting Adepts surrounded and getting their third cancelled and delayed. And then they realize they haven't seen what the Zerg's doing, so they start mind gaming themselves, going, oh god, there could be Mutalisks coming, there could be this, there could be that. That's the nightmare of playing against Dark's unpredictability. He's not afraid to gamble, not afraid, even if he's a massive favorite, to go all in, to go for crazy attacks. And that's why sometimes he does make his wins look rather simple. Nice 2-1 victory for Dark over Nina.